Hi, this is Anthony Carey with Function First, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the myth of the neutral pelvis. The neutral pelvis is a position in space and time that we often hear fitness professionals and even rehabilitation professionals talking about maintaining, the client, the athlete, the patient, maintaining a neutral pelvis. Well, the neutral pelvis is really only something that takes place in a static environment, and typically what's associated with the neutral pelvis is bipedal or bilateral standing or sitting on our ischial tuberosities, in which the pelvis can be considered in a neutral position, meaning that we have a slight degree of anterior rotation, 5 to 15 degrees of inclination of rotation in an anterior direction, and that it's symmetrical side to side. And the reflection would be that the lumbar spine is maintained in normal lordosis. We often hear of people in different disciplines talking about keeping a neutral pelvis as the person goes through motion, and that's almost impossible and it's not realistic. What's more important is the fact that the person is able to control the various motions that are going to occur at the pelvis. For example, if they're forward flexing, as the pelvis rotates anteriorly, and then depending on how far forward the torso goes and how much posterior rotation occurs, are they able to control that? Whenever we're in unilateral stance, there's two completely different things going on either side of the pelvis. If we're in a stride during walking, there's two totally different things going on both sides of the pelvis. So in this brief little snippet of information, one point I wanted to emphasize is the fact that what's more important is control. When we talk about stability, i.e. control, I use the analogy of the three little bears. We can have too much, not enough, or just right. And oftentimes with the neutral pelvis, we're trying to create an artificial environment in which the client has to maintain a position of the pelvis and lumbar spine that is not conducive to normal functional movement. And instead, what they're trying to do is restrict themselves in an effort to lock down the pelvis in a certain position. So control is the important thing. There are lots of movements that the pelvis is supposed to go through in three-dimensional space, and it's the ability for the client to control that versus maintaining this fixed, hypothetical, neutral pelvis. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at acarey@functionfirst.com. Thanks for listening.